blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome into my returning subs, my growing family. Please, I'm grateful for you being, support. We're all supporting each other and, acknowledging the things that, that we were scared to approach before, and knowing, wherever we're facing, you will truly overcome and triumph with that. So, with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my video for a while and have not, please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when your girl's about to upload her next video. Also, if you're comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know moi. Even if it's about the, reply towards the positive feedback of the content of the video, or you just tell me about your empathic gift, how it impacted your life and heading you towards a positive direction. Also, if you find the videos very informative, uplifting, inspirational, or just give you good vibes you would love to share with a loved one, family, or a friend, or even fellow empaths that are going through, trying times right now and just need confirmation or validation towards life path or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share. And while you're at it, give your girl a thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever you see fit. And thank you once again for the love and support. Y'all are greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart on all levels and directions. And I hope you're able to resonate with the content of my video. The music I'm listening to in the background is called Wealth Vibration, Jupiter Spin Frequency, Frequency of Abundance, Miracles Happen Meditation. Now I'll post that link in the description box below. And today my video is about Twin Flame 101. Heyoka's doing the shadow work towards light to know you are the light. A lot of times we're dealing with things and like right now, it's just I don't know what is going on. It is like sadness epidemic 101 lately. It's like I can't even go on social media without people asking for prayers, and people are really dealing with life in the worst kind of way. They don't feel like they need to be living anymore. They're really stuck in darkness because it's like I said in the other videos, universe got a whole lot of empaths reflecting on the things that they truly need to acknowledge that is going on in their life. It's just like with us being empaths, we feel everything, and it's not just everything. We feel it and it's intensified. You're already dealing with your own personal issues, trying to let go of your trauma, and here comes somebody else's energy along the way. And it's like, I don't know what it is. It's like with me being, what is it? What is it? HSP. Yeah, hypersensitive person. It just feels like our sensitivity is just got extra sensitive. And it's just like I was telling y'all in other video. People been saying, because with Brett, I think he's a makeup. Yeah, he's a makeup artist. It's just a lot of stuff that people are not taking in consideration. It's just a lot of deaths is going on, and it's just like me just seeing his video. I'm so used to this boy always laughing. He brings his own light. Everybody has their own way of expressing their realness, expressing their trueness. Wanting to be comical, and he's always that one that just I'm looking at him and always be laughing, at a lot of things that he say. But just to see that boy crying like that, I know what it feels like to lose your father. I don't know if I think his dad had cancer or something like that. But it's anytime you lose a parent, especially around, it's already hard, but then it's more hard when you're dealing with them around, family holidays. That's a lot that you're not really looking out for, to reflect on, because it's like they're no longer there in that form. And it's just, we can be in darkness for so long. Going first started my spiritual awakening, me being able to know I can be able to cross over to spiritual realms. Like I used to always call it the further. It looks like that stuff from Insidious. Anybody ever seen the Insidious movie with that Darth Maul looking thing? That's where when I used to go there and help people out, either if they were on addiction or they were going through a really dark depression, and it was just like they were being consumed with all the pain. We're it's like a lot of people are really going through that dark night of the soul right now, and it's not like we normally go through it. When you are going through all those changes, it's like going deep, like abyss deep. So it's just like being able to do that, really seeing things from a fresh perspective. knew I was able to do it. I didn't think I was able to do it while, I was sober. I mean, it's just the things that I don't know. It could have been the weed I was smoking. I don't know, whatever. But it was like being able to see the things from seeing, I can smell sulfur around me. I can hear ominous things going on around me. And I mean, the things that I saw, ugh. I felt like, okay, it was like Insidious slash Constantine, and, Devil's Advocate all wrapped into one, and it was just like dealing with that and seeing so many people. And it's like, I told people before, when I see them in that fetal position, because they're either it's addiction or they're, holding on to traumatic situations, or they're going through abuse at that time, or they're going through some really difficult things at this time where it just feels like they don't find their way out. And it's just like right now, universe has us reflecting on a lot of things that they have that courage in you. They have that confidence in you, because that's the reason why they picked you, for you to be going on this journey, for you to have to experience the things that you're experiencing. You know, um, it took me a long time for me to actually dive deep and step back, you know, um, really to see why all these things had to happen. Why did, I had to constantly go through this? Why was I picked? All those different things was coming on, because, I always wanted to be able to make people happy. Since I was like 4 or 5 years old, I've been saying that, just coming up to people and I can just tell them, you know, why you're sad, and, things will get better. A child shouldn't talk like that. I was like 4 years old going on 50. I shouldn't have been, I talk like my mom always called me an old soul. My dad was like, when I used to talk to my dad, he's like, girl, you acting too daggone grown. I was like, well, Uncle Rogers, mom always told me I was an old soul. So maybe that's the reason why I talked before my time. And he would bust out laughing like, oh boy, yeah, I really created this. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So it is just like really seeing it, and being able to get, to do personal one-on-one. I always call it, empath counseling, when I talk to people on the side, and really knowing we all have our levels of devils. We're all, having our touch of darkness that we truly don't want to embrace, because we know what that pain felt like when you endured it. What that situation felt like when you were experiencing that. But they really want you to know, if you can't get over this, why do you feel like you're still here? They want you to understand that we picked you. And yes, a lot of things has occurred in your life, but for you to even be able to sit in front of somebody's face and say, you know what, I experienced this, that, and the third. I'm trying to heal. You know, um, there's a lot of things that I'm not acknowledging, but I need to face. They allow you to be able to know, if and I always tell people, don't ever underestimate your strength. When you can sit up here and see what your Achilles heel is, or maybe, I don't have confidence that somebody will love me. I don't feel like, I feel like if I was to have this experience or this mood swing, I would be left, or I got people wanting to tell me stuff, but they were scared that I would abandon them. That was, that broke my heart. I said, I don't pass judgment on nobody. I'm not God. I can't sit up here and fuss at you about something because you sin differently than me. I can't do that. I'm not that person that can judge. I can have my opinion, but if I'm not going to have an opinion, if it's not going to bring something positive towards that, my opinion that I'm bringing it towards. Because I always tell people, we all go through things. I got personal with a few people on the sideline, and it really broke my heart to know the things that they've gone through, because God wanted them to be able to be open. And they're not that type of person to just open with anybody, because they're always worried about, is this person going to pass judgment on me? Are they going to abandon me if I tell them this is what I'm experiencing, because you're so used to people doing that? I want to be different. I always tell people I love what I do. I love being able to speak my truth. A lot of people didn't like that. I've always been like that. It didn't got me. I lost a couple of jobs for me speaking my truth. And people used to tell me, the ones that really didn't say nothing, they would pull me to the side. I remember I used to work at this on a military installation with military folks. And I had one of the KPs, they call them that, when they're washing all the dishes and stuff. And they used to always hear me saying something, or, popping off at the mouth like, I don't care who you are. You ain't gonna talk to me any kind of way. You know, some people use their authority and feel like they can talk to them any kind of way. But I told them wait until that 90 days up. I'm gonna let you have it because I said I'm gonna let. This is only 87 days. They said number 87. These are Rosin, what you doing? Counting down them days because after 90 come and you keep pushing me in this corner, ooh child, I'm gonna let you have it. And it had to get to that point where people kept talking to me some kind of way because it was like I noticed that that was their pattern. If you're a new person, they'll just try to feel like they'll feel you out by seeing how what they can get away with when it came to you. And there was a lot of times I had to walk off and say, "You don't hey, don't shake that wildebeest. Don't do that." You know, mine is just like you waking up under heavy hibernation, and that's not good. So it's just like all of us are doing that, you know. And they used to always tell me like, "Rosalind, I don't care what they fired you for, but the one thing I can truly admire about you, amongst other things, that you always stood your ground. You never let nobody. No, I'll lose my job first. You ain't gonna put me in. No, I never was. I was good for that, and maybe that was the reason why I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? Because I hate rules. I hate when somebody's trying to control me. You know, I just don't like that. But going through all the things you go through, you know, me being able to help somebody, I'm like, you know, I didn't have that confidence in myself. I said, how the heck am I gonna help somebody? I can't even find myself out of a paper bag sometimes. What am I supposed to do? You know, my life all messed up. But then when it allowed me the things I was speaking about, and I was so comfortable about it, you know, just being open, even though I can't, let me not lie, there are certain things I wasn't comfortable with talking about. But when universe urges you, you need to don't allow fear to stop you from speaking your truth. A lot of us don't want to speak our truth because they're worried about how people perceive us, or people are scared about, you know, speaking their truth because what kind of judgment are they going to pass on us? What am I going to get back for me telling you this? And anytime anybody talks to me on the side as well as here on this platform, I respect that strength for you to talk about the things you talk about, because when you can be open and really say, I got this issue because this has happened to me, this, that, and the third, whether it was adulthood, childhood, whatever, you know, that's you showing your strength right there. Because a lot of people don't have that courage to sit up here and speak what has them feeling that way. Or people, it would break my heart and I'll start crying. Sometimes it take me a minute before I can reply back. You're like, Rosalind, if I tell you this, you may not talk to me anymore. And that's the only way. I always tell people, like even from back before when I was doing that in my videos, and I tell people, hey, if you want to get in contact with me, and I still do it, you can always find me on, you know, Facebook Messenger, not the page, but Messenger. You know, we talk there, you know, and I always tell people, you know, only time I can see myself not talking to you if you tell me you molested somebody, or you abused animals, or you abused senior citizens. Then I'm going to back up. I'm like, Lord, hold up. Before we end up bumping heads because you might not like what I say, you know, we're going to have a big misunderstanding. That's the only time I will separate myself from anybody, you know, anybody. But other than that, I mean, I'm not judging you. It's just the fact is I can't deal with folks like that. I used to get paid to work with children like that. And it was just the fact is when I've seen something happen as well as what happened to me, it made me feel some type of way when it came to folks like that. But then you got to understand when folks are like that, that has happened to them. So they feel like that's some way of a sickness, but it's normal. You know, when that has happened, when people want to say that they're the reason why they're doing it and stuff like that. But a lot of times we find ourselves in darkness while we're dealing with so many things. We carry a lot of hurt. We carry a lot of guilt. A lot of times it takes a lot for you to acknowledge why you are like that. You know, go deep root to the problem of what has you this way in the first place. All these things are having you reflect on why do you still carry this? Why do you feel like you need to put blame on yourself? Or you feel like if I would have did this, this wouldn't have happened. They want you to know if this wasn't supposed to happen, it wouldn't have happened. Everything has a reason for happening for you. Everything has a reason for happening to you. There's always a purpose behind the pain you have endured. And it took me a long time to understand that about what I was going through. And like I've told y'all many times before, if you've been subscribed to me, you watch my videos, you have heard me say, you know, I didn't expect to get this type of outcome. um, I didn't know, for me experiencing what I've experienced, would this impact somebody in a positive way? I didn't have that confidence to know. I'm just doing what I was told. I was just doing what I was guided to do. And then just to see the comments that comes back, I had to look up at God and say thank you. Because a lot of times when we go through things, not to be messed up, but it's not about you. And it took me a long time to figure that out. Even though it happened to me, this wasn't about you. This was about the people that was going to come after you that needed that guidance of that light. We all hold a light, but it's up to you to be able to recognize it. It's up to you to be able to see that. Because if all of you see is darkness, you're cheating yourself out of getting that light, which you already carried. Because it's just probably faulty. You just need to light it up again. It's still there, but a lot of times we're so busy, consumed and worrying about the things that has happened. We get lost in that situation. You get lost, you know, in that pain that this is all that's around you. And there's so much more, like different, it's just like you're like Eeyore, from Winnie the Pooh. You got all the clouds running around you. But if you're so concentrating on and focused on that cloud that's over you, you're gonna miss out all the sunshine and all the rainbows is just waiting for you right outside that cloud. You know, you have to be able to endure that. There's a reason why you got sent towards there and had to deal with that. Because a lot of times when I said, why did this have to happen to me? Why does this have to happen? And I got to put it out like this. I used to get angry because all the situations I had to go through, I didn't think I had to go through this for me to know my family. This is biological. I should not have to go through all this just to be around my family. That's why I tell anybody, if you got parents that's still living and y'all having a mishap, or you are so consumed in your own personal life where you can't check up on your mom or check up on your dad. And it's like, even though y'all might not see eye to eye, those are still your parents. If they did not sit up here and lay hands on you, sexually touch you, beat you in some kind of jacked up way, then I can understand you this pardon your ways. I don't know why that word distance was messing up on me. Good God. I can see you this parting ways with that. I'm not about to do that again. But I can understand that. But if it's something, oh, they're getting on my nerves. They always call all the time. You can't do that. Your parents raised you. There are a lot of times they sacrifice things they could have did for themselves to do it, to make things right for you. Your parents ain't gonna always be here. That's why I always tell people, make sure you call your parents. I can see if they did those situations, I can understand why you would distance yourself. Because I distance myself from the folks that I moved here to Georgia for, because I had to go deep rooted. I was telling my friend I cried because it was like I wasn't angry, but I was more hurt than anything. Because it's like I can see if, I was like a oops baby, but I wasn't a oops baby. I was a check baby. The only reason why you kept me around is for a check. Check baby, 1, 2. And that was something I had to really, that was that pill called truth. My mom used to tell me her husband didn't care about me, and that was the most hurtful thing, because I was a daddy's girl and didn't realize, yes, I was a daddy's girl, but it was from my biological daddy, not from that one. I was always that pawn. And that it took me a long time for me to be okay about that. This is what happened. And it was like, that was a hard pill to swallow, because I was angry. I was hurt angry. I wasn't angry like I was ready to do some damage. I was already past that, but being able to really look at those things, I had to be able to be honest with myself on my feelings, my emotions. Be honest with that when you're expressing that to the universe. Don't say nothing that's crazy that's going to block you from your blessings, but allow yourself to say, hey, this really messed me up in an emotional way. I'm just trying to come to terms with this. I'm just trying to understand, why did this have to happen? And a lot of times you might not get the answer, and sometimes you do. But it's like when I see my situation, yes, it was tragic. I try not to think about the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. It took me a long time to not keep saying. I used to sit in the corner and cry until my eyes swelled shut, telling God I'm sorry. I didn't, I felt guilty because I feel like my dad would still be here. Because I wouldn't allow nobody. I'm very territorial over him now. I would have never allowed somebody to be able to get that close to him to give him something to kill him. And that was a hard pill to swallow. And he always constantly tell me it's not your fault. It's not your fault. They weren't being honest with you about certain things. They lied to him as they lied to me. you know. And then all I had to see when I dealt with this situation is that these people reminded me the strength I carried. They reminded me of so much that I carried, that when people see all the good in you, they will make people see all the bad they said about you. They used to do that to my dad, and my dad was like, "You're totally opposite than what they said about you." And I was just like putting two and two together because I didn't know who I was talking to. They just gave me the phone and tell me to talk to somebody, which was very weird. And I'm just like, why would they go out their way to say this to you? I'm just trying to find out. But he knew he couldn't say nothing because they had him on speakerphone. So it was just all those different things I had to acknowledge. And when I really sit here and reflect on my time, I had to find myself out of my darkness. I can't have nobody save me. You can't have nobody save you. That's that shadow work you had to do. You have your own built-in flashlight, but there is your time to be able to sit with yourself and say, when is my time? I'm going to push myself out of this darkness. Because a lot of times we're sitting in a prison, and I've seen that vision of a lot of us sitting in those prisons with the key in the door, and the door's part way open. But we're asking for help when all we had to do is just push that door open. It's just up to you when you're going to allow yourself to say enough is enough. Because God and them already know what your capability is. They already know what type of warrior they done set on that path for victory. But all these things they already know, they want you to be able to know it about yourself. They want you to acknowledge that, because anytime somebody can indulge or, endure the tragedy that you have experienced, and you're still able to live and breathe and tell about it, they're not finished with you yet. A lot of times I used to wake up and just see myself in the same predicament and just cry and just say, I've been praying to get out of my situation. This is like an eyesore to me. But I didn't realize this is the key for me to reflect how many blessings I got within that situation. What is that situation trying to teach me? What do I need to learn about myself and my strength within that situation? It's all about how I looked at it. I had to decide to try to break my neck to find out the positivities that I got in this dark storm, and stop being focused on what I want to have and my lack of having, and just be blessful, I'm going to use that word, blessful, grateful and blessed, to have what I have for right now. Because when they see that you are acknowledging the little bitty blessings that they're placing in your life, that's allowing them to know, hey, they're heading that place. They're grateful for the little things that we placed in their life. They're grateful about the little things that we took out of their life. A lot of times we get rejected. That's okay. A lot of times they say no. That's okay. Because later on down that road, what you might have prayed for, they got something better for you further down that road. Sometimes it's good not to get what you want, because you might set yourself up for something very short, as we say here in the South, and you don't need that. We don't need no microwavable dreams. You need those ones that's going to take you places. They want you to be able to do that because they got so many blessings for you, but you have to be able to understand. You had to prove to yourself, are you worthy for those things that they're trying to give you? Because they want you to have it, but they got to make sure you straight and balanced on everything that you need to learn throughout that tragedy. All the darkness, are you allowing yourself
to soak into your own pity party. Because soaking in your own pity party ain't gonna take you nowhere. It's just gonna keep you in the same place. It's gonna be like a wet dream and a nightmare. They be like, ha ha. You gotta be quicker than that. It's gonna be like that daggone State Farm commercial, trying to figure out who sit up here and burnt Cheryl she shed. I ain't got time for all that. I'm ready to go. So I'm gonna learn what I need to learn, and I'm so grateful for all the things that I've learned. God knows I shock people with my words. I'm gonna say a lot of things that other people are thinking. I've always been that way. They were like, Roslynn, I'll be thinking, and you'll come up and say it. Hey, I ain't gonna bite my tongue. Shoot, I'd rather for you to be mad about the truth than be okay about a lie. If you want to get pissed off, hey, I'd rather get pissed off than pissed on. I don't got that time for that daggone R. Kelly mess. I ain't freaky like that. But I'm just saying, all these different things you had to experience, all these things you had to be able to face, all these things that you're dealing with currently, you have to be able to accept and then allow yourself to see the pros and the cons from dealing with the situation. Yeah, you went through this. Like when anybody goes into a toxic or domestic violence type situation or a relationship, yeah, you might hate the fact that you put yourself in that situation, but the the positive outcome is when you endured that, you knew what it felt like. You seen the things that happened and what occurred. So the next time when this is all said and good and you're healed, you're truly healed. You're not allowing yourself to carry some baggage into a new relationship, because that new relationship can be a blessing on all levels. But if you holding that baggage from the past, you're gonna mess your stuff up. That blessing will snatch away from you like like a chair up under the table at you. But you had to be able to understand that. That's why I allow myself to heal. People ask me, hey, you want to go on a date, or oh, would you like us to? No, I'm good, I'm working on me right now, I ain't got time for that. You gonna waste my time and I'm gonna waste your time, and that's something I can't get back. So I'm allowing myself and universe to work on me, because I don't need to be taking my baggage, my hurt, my pain, my mistrust towards somebody that's gonna love me how I need to be loved. That's not fair for that person to sit up here and be blamed for something somebody else done put you through. I'm glad I went through my toxic situation, because it allowed me to love myself more than I ever loved myself before, because I always allowed my love to go to somebody else that didn't even really deserve it, where I should have been giving it to myself. I allowed me to put my happiness aside to please somebody else when they weren't even worried about that for me. I'm glad I went through that, because it allowed me to say, you know what, I love myself enough to know if I know you all about them fun and games, silly rabbit tricks are for kids. I ain't got time for all that. I'm too grown. I'm too old. I can't do it. I'm way too old. And it's just at that point where I'm tired. I don't, I see what people are about at times, but I'm not that type of person where I feel like all men are the same, all women are the same. No, it's about what you need to be able to change your filter. Like if you're on some kind of movie site and they break everything down, duration, what type it is, what genre, what state, what city, all those things. You need to be able to change your type of people that you pick, because all of a sudden you start picking the same folks and you wonder why you got the same results. Maybe you need to change your filter on who you choose to have in your circle. Be very observant. Don't soak in the emotions, but observe the emotions. A lot of people be looking at my situation. There are certain people that are dealing with my ex on the side. Baby, I'm blessed. You the one got to deal with all that. I'm good, because I know what that person's like, and I appreciate the fact that that person was like, because I'm allowed to see you at your truest form, and he's allowing somebody to see him how he wants them to see him, and that's good. I'm like, hey, blessings to you. I'm good. He ain't my headache no more. So that was a blessing in disguise for me, because it allowed me to know I would never allow any other person to do me like that was done to me. I would never allow somebody to want me to sacrifice my happiness just to make sure you're secure. When you sit up here, or you're trying to remind me of my insecurities by you reflecting your insecurities on me. That's why a lot of times we go through those situations. So never feel like anybody you connect with this gave you a bad experience was ever a waste of time, because that allowed you to really know where you stand at in somebody's life, or allowed you to know, does this person care about my happiness? Do they respect me as a person? You can't ask somebody to love you and respect you when they don't respect themselves, and I told him that, but I had to actually I was grateful because I went through those experiences, because that was a blessing to me. You have to be understanding. I used to hate it when I used to go out doing stuff for my friends, and then the fact is you'll be quick to jab me in the back if I wasn't paying attention. That's okay. That's why I just cut everybody out my life like that. When I seen what you were up to, and I seen what type of character you carry, God bless you, and I hope you get yourself right, because I am. I had to allow myself to know if it is so expensive to be consumed in your circle, that's too much for me to want to pay. That price is way too high, and I shouldn't do that. I like to be around people that are encouraging, motivated, that wants to see you win. Those are the type of people I like to be connected with. If you're one of that type of people, supportive haters, I ain't got time for supportive haters. Those ones that support you all the way, but don't want you to sit up here and do better than them. Or you got people that love with limitations. I always tell them I ain't got time for that LWL. And so what's that love with limitations? You'll love me if I did this, or you love me if I didn't do better than you, or you love me if, ain't got time for that. Either you love me or you don't. Can't be riding on the fence with that stuff. So you go through all the things you go through. Allow yourself to know that you carry that torch for yourself. Allow yourself to know you can get out that hole, but you have to be able to see that key on the outside of that prison that you allowed yourself to stay in. You can push that door open. It's your choice and your time on how long you're going to stay in that prison when you truly don't have to. You got better outside that door, but a lot of all your wants and needs is past fear, is past doubt, is past uncertainty. You have to be able to go through all these things and have that confidence in yourself to know this ain't gonna be like this forever. You just had to do that light work. But it's all about how you look at it. If you see all the difficulties, that's what they're gonna shine lights on. If you're allowing yourself to get mad because every time somebody says something, that's where you need to heal at. And that's why I was just like, if it ain't bringing me no growth, and this is gonna wear my energy out, I ain't got time. I ain't got time. But I hope y'all were able to resonate with the content in this video. I'm gonna give a big ups to one of my other channel families, Ambitious CC Animations. She does a really good job on her animation videos. If you can you stop by there and show her some love? I'm gonna go ahead and put her link in the description box below. That's my sister from another mister. She came over here, subscribe to my channel, and I started watching her stuff over there. I really truly love her animations over there. I'm into the horror ones as well as the life, important purposes and stuff like that. It has subliminal good messages at the end for you to be able to reflect on towards yourself. So, like and subscribe. Put a comment down here so I can give you a post notification shout out. Y'all don't know what's wrong with me. I think this is that daggone meditation music got me all hyped. But anyways, yes, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, drop me a line, let me know if you resonate, share, give me a thumbs up, and know that you are truly blessed, highly favored, and forever loved, and knowing there's always somebody out there praying for your better days. And I will see you on my next video. I hope y'all have a blessed, safe Thanksgiving if I don't get a chance to tell y'all the next day, because I don't know how. It all depends on my day. So make sure you give out love and light, positivity, as well as prosperity. You never know, your kind words, vibes, and frequencies can really place somebody, take somebody a long way. Much love, and I'll see you on my next video.